Freitas isn't going to give you power. I'm not expecting Walker to give you power. Altuve's not giving you any power. Yiner's struggling, but he's starting to show you a little. The only guy I could say is Yiner. I'm hoping for more power. Cam Smith, maybe. But DeCenzo got, what, 1 home run? I don't know where the power's coming from.
You know what else is poor? Poor?
The Astros offense.
The Astros offense.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. You finished my sentence for me. That's how you know we got a good partnership, good chemistry in our relationship. Yep. You can finish the sentences. You knew where my mind was going.
It's like an old married couple.
It kind of is. It really is. That's why we need a marriage counselor from time to time. Yeah. When I watch this team, Blakers, and we'll dissect it, 713-780-ESPN. You're always welcome in here, Hive. Second most interactive show in Houston sports radio. Who's keeping count? 713-780-3776. This team feels very mediocre. They feel mid. They beat San Diego 2 of 3, but you drop 2 of 3 against one of the worst teams in baseball. Milwaukee's fine, but you don't really show any life outside of that 6th inning offensively. Yeah, you're without your best player. The pitching's been good. The offense has been bad. Joe Espada, we'll come to our mean. We'll find our mean. Water finds its mean. We're about to explode offensively. This team feels mediocre to me.
I don't think you're wrong. I have a different vibe this year, and you and I have talked about this previously, but watching this team this year as opposed to years past, where I felt like, oh, you know what? They can get down early, but they're going to be fine, and they're going to have plenty of opportunities to score runs, and they'll capitalize. I said it got a little better for a while, but I also think as much as you used to give me a hard time about, how losses hit me or, and how I reacted to losses, this year it's just totally different. You're right. All across the board, it's I feel like this team really doesn't have a chance to win if they get down in a game. This team's offense just really doesn't seem like it's ever going to break out the way they keep saying eventually they're going to break out. And this team, when it loses, and I think the whole city reacts differently than they would have in years past. Where in years past, they lose a series against a team they should beat. Yeah, but they'll be fine. This year, it's on every game that they don't do anything Astros-like over the last 8-9 years. People are like, yep, they suck. Yep, they're done. I saw it all over Twitter. Yep, I kept telling you, they're not even going to be anywhere near what they were in the past. But when they win, hey, they're right there. They got it. They're coming on, and they're close to first place. I don't have those vibes this year.
Yeah, I feel like it's the ebbs and flows of a baseball season. Part of me is hey, this is ebbs and flows. Hey, the Astros are only 3 games back in the division. They're only 2 games back in the wild card. This is a far cry from where they were last year when they were 12-24, right? It's a far cry. And I get that the offense is struggling. I get that Yordan's on the IL with an inflamed hand, and people are mad at me for calling him an enigma for some weird reason.
I saw that. Guy called you stupid.
Yeah. He was getting on to me for not having any journalistic integrity, which I'm not a journalist. Sure, yeah. And then he made fun of me. And then he called me an idiot, called me stupid. How do you question my journalistic integrity and then call me stupid? Where is your integrity? Huh?
Yeah. I mean, he got a little saucy, that guy.
Was that wrong of me though to say that Yordan's an enigma?
I think all you did was defend what you tweeted, which is your right to tweet and your right to defend it. And I just thought that he kind of went too far.
I believe everything I said was factual there. Because all I did was list his injuries, and then I said Yordan's an enigma. Enigma, dictionary, Oxford, a person or thing that is mysterious, puzzling, or difficult to understand. Wouldn't you call the list of injuries he's had mysterious, puzzling, or difficult to understand?
Without question.
Yeah, everything I said was factual there, and people were blasting me.
Now, do you think
Holly got on to me? Holly, she ratioed me. No, I think it was a different Holly.
Oh.
I know it was a different Holly.
The Astros Holly?
Yeah.
Do you think that the guy that was making all these name-calling tweets, do you think that he looked up what Enigma was?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so. I don't think they knew what Enigma was.
That's exactly
because
what
everything
I mean.
I said was 100% accurate. And I get it. Fans don't want to hear. They don't want to hear bad things about their favorite player. They don't want to hear bad things about their heroes. I totally get it. And look, both things can be true though. I love Yordan. I love that Yordan turned the game upside down. I love that Yordan's been one of the best offensive players in Houston Astro history and has been clutch in all these moments. But both things are true. Yordan is an Astro hero. Yordan Alvarez also is an enigma with the injuries that he's had. And all these injuries that he's had are always on the road, too, by the way. Y'all notice that?
Yeah,
Have you noticed all of them are on the road?
a lot of them are. Well, didn't we talk about
I think all of them.
It seems like there's a lot of times where there's cities he just doesn't want to go to. I think Tampa's one of them.
Chicago's one of them.
Yeah.
In fact,
That was the one where he used Crane's plane just to play in the game and then
Yes.
fly back that night.
yeah, he didn't want to stay in Chicago.
Yeah.
He doesn't like, maybe he's scared of Capone or something. I don't know. He doesn't like the mean streets of Chicago. Maybe he doesn't like the hotel they stay in there. But, he landed on the 10-day IL, which, I mean, I'm okay with putting players on the IL. I would err on the side of putting them on the IL. But you know where the Astros go? Like, they come home for a little bit, but you know where they go next week? Texas, which whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the second leg of that road trip? Tampa Bay. He doesn't like Chicago. He doesn't like Tampa Bay.
He does not like Tampa.
Doesn't like Chicago. Doesn't like Tampa Bay. Doesn't like going. He thinks that the St. Pete is on the wrong side of the bay. But I got sidetracked there. But this team just feels mid.
You know what? Another way that I can say that I agree with you is he's on the 10-day IL. In years past, I'd say they're fine. They got plenty of offense. They got guys in the middle of the lineup that are going to hit, and they're going to pick him up with the power numbers. And you got Bregman, and you got Tucker, and you got these guys in the middle of the lineup that everybody knows can do it. This year, I'm like, I mean, not that he was ripping the cover off it anyway, but I'm like, man, for 10 games or 10 days and however many games, I'm deeply concerned about any chance of having any kind of power numbers.
Yeah. And like that's the struggle of their offense is like the guys that they expected to have power numbers haven't been powerful.
That's right.
They haven't not even power. They haven't been good. Yordan Alvarez has been atrocious. Christian Walker's been atrocious. Yainer Diaz has been atrocious. And they've shown lives. Like I think Yainer's been coming along better. Christian Walker had that like last week. He was pretty good. Hasn't really hit much this week. Yordan hasn't hit at all.
Brady snapped out of it. He started slow.
Yeah, and he like even whenever he's slumping, like he'll get on base, because he walks a lot.
Altuve's struggling.
Yeah. It's his birthday today.
Happy birthday, Jose.
Happy birthday to the GOAT.
They call him Hosey.
They call him Hosey.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that name. I like Hosey. Hosey's good. My grandpa's name's Jose. I call him Chima, though. I don't call him Hosey. But it feels mid. Feels like a mid team. Some of the other things that I felt after yesterday's game, I wasn't very encouraged by Ronel Blanco's start yesterday early, but he finished strong, so I tip my cap to that. Like, he could have very easily went the other way. He could have that very easily could have been a 5-6 run given up performance by Ronel Blanco. So I actually tipped my cap. Like, he kept the Astros in the game. He finished strong. Like, he didn't give up a hit for the final 4 innings or whatever it was. I started off very sour on him, and in fact, I keep notes as the game is going on. I put in my notes, and I feel foolish doing this, Ronel Blanco may not be a big league starter. I did that after he got shelled in that inning. The way he finished, I retract that statement.
It was crazy that they said he'd never given up more than 7 hits in an appearance, and he was up to 7 with a couple innings to pitch, and he pitched the rest of the way without giving up another hit.
Yeah.
And I just think the one thing that I kept thinking as I was watching the game is he's given up a lot of dingers this year. It seems like he gets touched up by one bad pitch that gets him one long ball that really kind of kicks him, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, he had that trouble. Not to the volume that he's had it this year, but he had a little bit of that trouble last year, and even that year before whenever he was working out of the bullpen. Like, he is prone to the long ball at times. Like, he'll leave that changeup up, and it'll get hit a long way. But he finished strong, so I can't be too mad at Ronel Blanco, even though he didn't start good. The game, to me, was lost in the 6th inning. They had the bases loaded, one out. Yep. And I really feel bad for Zach DeCinzo. They never showed a replay of the check swing. There was a pitch in the dirt, first pitch of the at-bat. DeCinzo tries to check. They appeal down to first base, bring him up. They never saw a replay on it, so I can't really comment one way or the other. But it sucks that at-bat started with a questionable strike one.
But he also caught one later in the at-bat where it
borderline.
Yeah, where it looked like he actually did go, and they said he didn't.
Yep.
But that was just right from the minute that pitcher came in, I was like, boy, I don't think that Zach's going to be on this because he's got a fastball and he looks like he's got a sweeper that's going to give him a problem. And he was chasing everything that was sweeping off the outside corner.
Yeah, not a great game. I feel like with Yordan gone too, like we might see a lot of these games while Yordan's away.
I totally agree.
1-2 run games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just, like I said, in years past with Yordan out, no problem. This year, the minute that they said they were putting him on the aisle, I'm like, oh, man, now where are they going to find power from? Because at least there were signs that he and even Yainer, but he, for the most part, was starting to snap out of it a little bit more, getting balls out of the park, or it was in Kansas City, hit the home run in the double. And you looked at it and you go, okay, well, we know enough that this is a guy that does it year in, year out that I'm not too concerned. but it is kind of getting a little later than I thought before he snapped out of it. Now he's shown signs. Now he's out for 10 games, and I'm going, well, Paredes isn't going to give you power. I'm not expecting Walker to give you power. Altuve's not giving you any power. Yainer's struggling, but he's starting to show you a little. The only guy I could say is Yainer. I'm hoping for more power. Cam Smith, maybe. But DeCenzo got, one home run? I don't know where the power's coming from.
Yeah, it's been a lifeless offense so far. Espada said they're going to explode. We'll see if I almost called it an Espada. We'll see if Espada is right. Exploding Espadas. Be nice. Astros right now 3 games back. I mentioned that earlier. 2 games of the wild card. If you had to make the call right now on May 6th, does this team make the playoffs?
I still feel like they will. I just feel like, especially after last year, I just feel like whether it's the wild card or the division, they're just going to find a way to get in. And I got to believe that Christian Walker is going to snap out of it. And I really believe that Yordan is. I don't know if Yainer is, but I expect him to. And so I still believe that this offense will find its groove to some degree. And whether that's the wild card or it's the division, I do think that they're going to get in.
Mariners claim Leotis Taveras
saw
off
that.
of waivers. I just noticed. It just popped up on my timeline. Brian, do the Astros make the playoffs? Brian's always pessimistic about the Astros. He's always optimistic about the Texans. He's a realist about the Rockets.
My lean would be no.
Okay, so
I think the pitching's good enough, but I don't see the big improvement for the offense.
I'm gonna go. They're still gonna make the playoffs.
Is that like last year where it's?
I think I see like
85-ish
87, 88 wins.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the offense can't be this bad all year. It can't be.
I wouldn't think so. And like I said earlier in the year, I was wondering about Paredes, and he snapped out of it. I believe, and everyone around the league, every time we see a game, it's a national game, and people are talking, or we hear Blummer and Todd talking about guys they've talked to. Everybody says that Christian Walker, he's a hell of a hitter. Just wait till he snaps out of it. This is going to be great. I hope so.
He is a notorious slow starter.
Okay. So was
Christian
Alex
Walker.
Bregman.
Not this year.
I know. He's killing it.
Alex Bregman started off pretty good.
Yes, so far, so much for my comparison of Paredes and Bregman.
Yeah, Bregman's winning that race right now.